Oh, hello YouTube. Well, we're just in the spare room. Um, yeah. So I wanted to do a video on my fishing gear. Always liked fishing, so I don't know if I wouldn't call myself a professional fisherman in any way, shape, or form. I would say I'm okay. I have my good days and my bad days with fishing. Unfortunately, you never know really what you're going to get until you get down there. It does sound like a Forrest Gump saying, but it kind of is that way. But yeah, let's have a look at my fishing gear so you can have a look. Okay, so I wanted to show you one rod that you'll probably have a laugh at, but it was just more of a rod that to use for fun. So this is my 3-foot rod. Yeah, there you go. That's how small it is. And you might say, why would you have that? Well, the whole idea is that if you're only catching little fish and you're bored, something like this can make catching a little fish a lot of fun because they, fight like the devil. So you get a lot of play with this rod. That's the whole idea. The other advantage was I had a ute and it used to sit in the back of the ute. So if I wanted, I was near the ocean and I wanted to go fishing and just have a small kit with me, and then basically I could just go down and have a fish and then head off, just put some lures on and head off. This is probably my most expensive rod. Here's my most expensive rod. I bought this with tax money when I got a tax refund. This is my ugly stick. Literally, that is the, let's see if I can find it. There you go. Ugly stick. Don't know if you can see that too well. Yeah. So these rods are a proper ugly stick is made by, I think it's Shakespeare, but let me just have a look. Yeah, it's a Shakespeare, I think. You can read that. It's hard to read. Yeah. And that's a pen reel. So this is just normal stuff, really. There's nothing fancy about this particular one. Yeah, pen reel's a good brand. So if you got a pen reel, that's good. Another brand that used to pop up that was really cheap back in the day, and now it's not. I think it's an Applause, but I'm not sure actually. I can't remember exactly. This is my big rod. I've snapped the tip off, so I need to fix that. This is my 10-foot rod. Oh, for size variation, so it's 10 foot. It's considered sort of like a beach rod kind of thing, like fishing off a beach. We don't fish in rivers much in Australia. It's got a reel my friend gave me, and this reel is a lot better than all the other reels here by a long way. This is what's known as a bait caster. Oh, sorry, not a bait caster. This is I think this is I'm trying to remember the name. It's a bait. So I think it could be a bait runner. So when you click that down, that will spin and it will release line, and it won't actually cause any drag, so your rod won't go taken off. So when your rod is on. Now, if you're going for big fish, and I do mean like 1 meter, etc., something like this is better. Now, you might say, oh, you don't need all of that to catch a big... No, you don't, but it does help because you don't have to watch the rod all the time, and you can pick up your smaller fish on your other rod. So if you need bait fish, often when you're fishing, when you're going for big fish, you're using the live bait, or what we call it, live bait. So you catch a smaller fish, you hook him up to your rig, you make a special, it's called a Paternoster rig. You hook him up to that, and then you throw him out there. And it's usually a Paternoster is like a double hook. The kind of hooks you use, I don't think I've got them in my actual tackle box. No, a lot of it got moved around to make it easier to carry. I'll get to that in a minute. So that's what you kind of need. So if you want to hook up on a big fish, having a bait So that's a bait caster, and I believe that's a bait runner. And the difference is that button, and they're very hard to find. Good luck going to a fishing shop and actually finding one, because you just won't. Honestly, it's the most frustrating thing. Is you want to go out and you want to catch something, you can't get the right gear. I'm sorry, BCF, but I mean, you can do better. You're supposed to be boating, camping, and fishing, and you never have that. You know, that is a classic piece of fishing equipment, and it's like getting I don't have one here. It's called an Alvi reel. They're an old school reel that you use them on boats. They look kind of like I was going to say that hand reel over there. Hang on. Alright, well, before we get to that, this is my oldest fishing rod. Now, if you want to know how old this is, I got this when I was 8 years old. A friend of my dad's made it for me, and that reel I bought from Kmart for $20 when I was 8 years old. It still has the original line on it. It's 20-pound line on this one, and it's a Jarvis Walker's reel. It's all metal, actually, just about. There's a few bit of plastic parts, but the majority of that rod is actually, or the majority of that reel is metal, and you can tell the difference. Let me show you. Oh, I've tied off this, so I can't actually. Oh no, it should work. No, I've made a mess of it. I have to unmess it to make it work, but it makes a clicking sound, whereas something like this, you can hear it doesn't make a sound. So, I mean, there's some of the key differences with some of the older stuff versus the newer stuff. If you want quality, you got to pay for it these days. You can't get a $20 reel with like all metal gears and everything. It just doesn't happen. So this rod here and reel is 29 years old. That's how odd this whole combo is. Yeah, it's never really changed. I always like this combo. I like taking it out. It's pretty simple. It's not a complicated one. I'm over here, Booty. Yeah, I'm over here. That's just my Maglite torch. It's a net for pulling big fish up, or pulling decent sized fish onto a jetty. You wouldn't really need that on a beach. So you got some line here, different variations: 30-pound line, 20-pound line, 9-pound line. Got some 40-pound trace. Well, not trace, sorry. Yeah. Got some balloons here. These are good for getting your line out there, and well, it's a bit of a way to use that. So I got my, this is a hook combo thing. I think I have gang hooks in there. There are my sinkers. Swivels. Some lures and hooks there. And it's just like a ready pack. So a lot of like lines ready and things like that. This is just my reel for my little rod here. Little 3-footer. Yeah. So that's my fishing gear. Like I said, I'm not like crazy fisherman or anything. This is my old big rod, my old reel for my big one here that went with this one. That's 30-pound nylon line. It's not real great reel, if I'm being honest. I think it's one ball bearing. And the more ball bearings, you kind of want about 5, to be honest. About 5 ball bearings in your reel. And that just stops a lot of... Hang on. Let's see if I can show you. Ugh. Oh, hang on. See how much play it has before it locks? That's the ball bearing. So with more ball bearings, 3 to 5 is good. I think they don't really get much more than that, but that stops like this one here. It is. I think this one's got quite a few more. I don't know. I know it's got more than one. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. Maybe if I just... Hang on. Maybe if I set the camera up over by the window, I can show you what I mean. Yeah, I hope that works. Right, so see how there's no actual play with that, and versus this one here, you can see the difference, and that's what your money pays for, things like that.